It was arguably the scariest moment in NFL history. Damar Hamlin down on the field for nearly 20 minutes when his heart stopped mid-game. Now he has returned, and boy, what a moment.
After Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest, it was a lengthy process to get back.
The Buffalo Bills safety has come a long way since collapsing on the field during Monday Night Football just 6 weeks ago.
He would return and suit up for the Bills once more. However, the big story? Ten months after his collapse, Damar Hamlin took in a moment in Cincinnati, the site of it, prior to the Bills-Bengals game. Through it all, one media man gave a different take.
I would say that I have a suggestion from here on out for what we do with Damar Hamlin. How about we just act like that never happened?
That being former ESPN and HBO host Bomani Jones.
Am I the only person that feels that way? I know I'm not the only person that feels that way. And you know how I know I'm not the only person that feels that way? Because it doesn't make you want to watch a football game after talking about how you thought you saw a man die. I know that when that happened with Hamlin, I called Dominique and I said, hey, bro, did we just watch a man die on the field? It was one of the most awkward and honestly, terrifying and unsettling moments that I can ever think of in watching a sporting event. And you know that it was terrifying and unsettling because they actually canceled the end of the game, which we've seen people paralyzed before and they just keep on going. That game don't stop for nobody, and they had to stop that.
Before anyone gets on Bomani, let's be very clear. Jones was clear that he saw why Hamlin himself would be emotional and even want to reconnect with the medical professionals who helped save his life, but the NFL building it into more than it is where the questions arise.
Now, the problem is, because of the way the NFL sees itself, and I think in a lot of ways, the way that we talk about promoting I think it's more market sports than anything else. Because I do recognize in this larger way that the role of sport in society is value promotion and all these things, but now that everything has to be made into a television show, the NFL has to stand in every way for all that's good. And what they're trying to do is to turn what happened with Damar Hamlin into a story of inspiration.
I have said it before and I will say it again. ESPN and HBO's biggest loss was Bomani Jones. The way he views sports is a way that I wish most sports fans would take in their sports as a consumer. It has become way less tribal when you listen to him. It becomes way less, this is my team and I'm going to do everything I can to crap on that team over and over. There needs to be some nuance here. With him, it's very clear. This is not we're going to go straight to the point, statistics-driven, hate-filled agendas, go to the nth degree of how we don't want to see that person succeed. This is a different way of viewing sports. It's in the same category that I put a Howard Bryant, a Dave Zirin, some of the best minds who are able to read between the lines when it comes to sports, politics, and everything in between. This is a take not many have stated. And I'm going to play more in a second here. Because if they did, they would not have the kahunas to say something like this for public fear of retribution from one of the most powerful leagues in all of sports.
There is nothing inspiring about what happened. If there's an inspiration, it is, the first responders and their ability to save somebody's life under those circumstances.
100% 100% true. And Hamlin would even tweet, "Last night I had dinner with my heroes, 10 of the UC medical staff that helped save my life. I surprised them with a scholarship named after each of them that will support youth in Cincy to chase their dreams. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. In their honor, Hamlin and his Chasing M's Foundation will award $1,000 scholarships to 10 underserved young people in the Cincy area, aiming to help youths who aspire to attend private high schools or local trade schools and universities. The program is set to run through the next 3 years." That's what's inspiring, is to save a life when many in the medical field said time is not on your side.
Hearing about Damar Hamlin, all that does is make me sit there and question, why exactly am I doing this again? Like, what am I watching this for? Like, that's the place that it takes me when that goes.
This is a fair point. Let's explain why. From Damar Hamlin to Tua Tagovailoa, Kevin Everett collegiately to Eric LeGrand, sadly, we all know what we're signing up here. From those players all the way to Mike Webster, who was the first to be found with CTE. We watch knowing these men will have cognitive decline. We watch knowing that these gladiators go out and compete for our entertainment, even though their bodies are a shell of themselves. You could even say by the time they enter the NFL, because of how many hits they've taken. Go to the Hall of Fame game each year. Watch those guys get trot out. See how they walk. I do not view Brett Favre as the guy that, is in a leadership position, okay? There are many allegations about him. Check it out on demand. He did say one thing, though, that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't let my kids play football. That's a Hall of Famer saying that. They know. And we know. And yet, whether immediately or later on, we have seen how the NFL PR machine, with high-priced lawyers that they keep on retainer, and even films like Will Smith's concussion that mandated via the NFL that changes had to be made before air, this entity is going to protect itself at all costs. And in the process, they're going to try and glorify each and every story to keep us watching. And that's what they've done here. I agree with Bomani. Yet with all this information, of the top 100 most watched TV programs in the United States last year, including scripted shows, 82 were games in the National Football League. Tells you something.
It's like, I don't, guys, I don't know if we really need to be doing this. But the belief in this game and the way that people look at it is so powerful that they got to believe that they can make it into something good. They got to believe that they can use football to tell a story of heroism, but in the most over-the-top way. So it's all this big music and the voices that you come up with and everything else. And they're showing you Damar Hamlin on the sideline for all of these games. And I mean, I'll be honest, man, it's been almost a year since this happened, and I haven't really reconciled where I am on it and how I feel about it. And you just keep showing me this, and I'm like, guys, no. We'd all be better off acting like it didn't happen.
Bomani then would discuss the clip that we showed previously of Damar Hamlin kneeling down at the stadium at the yard line where he collapsed. Bomani called it touching, which I also agree with, but
it does not make me feel good. It does not get me in the spirit, guys. It doesn't. It just feels, for me, instead, is just being kind of cynical. Talk about it. Why? That's my only question. If nobody told you Damar Hamlin was on the sideline, what does it change? And so I'm not saying the dude shouldn't be around or nothing like that. No, I'm just asking, what is the purpose of continuing to make this a story? There are no changes in it. All that happens is every week he's on the sideline and we're like, boy, it's sure great that he's on the sideline. But I'm just telling you, it doesn't make me feel good.